Love doesn't announce itself with grand speeches. It whispers through actions so small they're easy to miss, unless you know where to look. A man who truly loves you may never say it every day, but his mind, body, and behavior will betray him in ways he cannot control. Psychology tells us that genuine affection reshapes attention, memory, priorities, and even fear responses. When love is real, it shows up not when things are perfect, but when they're quiet, difficult, or uncertain. This is not about obsession or temporary attraction. It's about the deep, grounded kind of love that rewires how a man experiences the world. As we move through these 7 signs, notice how each one builds on the last, forming a complete emotional picture. Because real love is not one gesture, it is a pattern. Chapter 1. His attention changes without effort. The first sign appears quietly. His attention begins to orbit around you, not because he's trying to impress, but because his mind naturally returns to you. He remembers small details, your tone when you're tired, the way you pause before speaking, the things you never had to repeat. Psychology calls this selective attention, where emotional relevance reshapes focus. When a man truly loves you, his brain prioritizes you automatically. This isn't obsession, it's emotional significance. You become part of his internal world. Conversations linger in his mind long after they end. Your absence feels noticeable, not dramatic, but real. As William James said, "My experience is what I agree to attend to." His attention is the foundation. From here, love deepens, not through words, but through presence. Chapter 2. His behavior becomes consistent, not performative. Once attention settles, consistency follows. A man in true love doesn't show affection only when it's convenient or dramatic. His care becomes steady, predictable, and calm. Psychology links this to secure attachment behavior, where effort doesn't spike and disappear, but remains reliable. He shows up when there's nothing to gain. His kindness isn't loud, it's dependable. You begin to notice that his actions match his words, even on ordinary days. This consistency creates emotional safety, which is one of the strongest indicators of genuine love. Aristotle wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Love, then, is not a moment, it's a habit. As this consistency grows, something shifts inside him. He begins to think beyond himself, and that leads to the next sign. Chapter 3. He includes you in his future thinking. Without announcing it, his language changes. He says we more than I. He considers your time, your feelings, your direction before making decisions. This reflects future-oriented cognition, a psychological shift that occurs when emotional bonding deepens. You're no longer an addition to his life. You're part of the structure. He imagines outcomes with you already there. Not fantasy, but realistic inclusion. This isn't about promises, it's about mental positioning. Jean-Paul Sartre observed, "Love is the attempt to form one consciousness out of two." In his mind, your presence becomes assumed, and once someone sees you in their future, the next instinct is protection, not control, but care. Chapter 4. He becomes protective without being possessive. True love activates a quiet, protective instinct. He doesn't try to own you, but he feels responsible for your emotional and physical well-being. Psychology links this to empathetic concern, where another person's safety feels personally relevant. He notices when you're uncomfortable before you speak. He steps in subtly, not to dominate, but to support. His protection is calm, not aggressive. Plato wrote, "Love is a serious mental disease, but healthy love doesn't create chaos, it creates care." This protective nature isn't about fear of losing you, it's about valuing you. And when protection is rooted in respect, it opens the door to something deeper: vulnerability. Chapter 5. He allows you to see his vulnerability. A man who truly loves you eventually lets his guard down. He reveals fears, doubts, and insecurities he doesn't share easily. Psychology shows that vulnerability is a trust signal, not weakness. He stops performing strength and starts sharing truth. Silence with you feels safe. Emotional exposure becomes possible because he believes you won't weaponize it. As Brené Brown echoes ancient wisdom, vulnerability is the birthplace of connection. This moment changes everything. Love shifts from external behavior to emotional intimacy. And once vulnerability is shared, emotional loyalty forms naturally. Chapter 6. His loyalty shows in absence, not surveillance. When love is real, trust replaces control. He doesn't monitor you or test you. His loyalty exists even when you're not present. Psychology calls this internalized commitment, faithfulness guided by values, not fear. He respects boundaries. He believes in you. This quiet trust is powerful because it doesn't need proof. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." His thoughts are steady, not suspicious. And this emotional maturity leads to the final sign, the one that confirms everything. Chapter 7. Loving you feels like peace, not anxiety. The final sign is emotional tone. Loving you doesn't make him restless, it grounds him. Your presence regulates his emotions instead of destabilizing them. Psychology identifies this as emotional co-regulation. You feel it too. Calm instead of confusion, clarity instead of doubt. Love becomes a place of rest. As Rumi wrote, "Where there is love, there is calm." This is how you know it's real, not because it's intense, but because it's steady. True love doesn't shout, it stays.